Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World. This will be the last of my Christmas wallet type gift card holders. So I thought I would share it with you. This one I have embossed in the background and I've used 3 different stamp sets. Christmas Gleaming for the wee holly and berries. Thinking of you at Christmas, of the itty bitty Christmas, and gather together, may this season bring you smiles and love that will last forever on the inside. And this one I have tied a ribbon round to keep it closed. I'm not sure even if I'll keep it there. It kind of sits okay, but because it's not for me, I might just put a wee gold clip at the top and that'll keep it closed instead of the ribbon actually. I'm just going to have to go at the bottom, isn't it? I'm not sure. I haven't made my mind up yet. I'll work on that one. But the wee band of ribbon works perfectly. And this is Poppy Parade card that I've used. And the Brights DSP. And I've punched out the everyday label punch for these. I'm going to drown them with a wee bit of green and then stamped sentiment. But the inside's the important part. It's the one that will be holding the money. And I've made it the card so that it will hold. I've measured the money against my wee card that I keep here, so it will sit in there nicely. It's only held right here and here, so I think it works well. That's the wee sentiment used, and then it did to and from so that the lady can fill it in. So let's get on with making it. The next one I'm going to go with a different colour entirely. I'm going with Garden Green, and again with the Brights DSP, which is Granny Apple here. I have gone ahead and started on the colouring in of these, which I'll share with you later. So I have embossed the card ready to go onto this, and these are the ones that will have to do a bit of scoring. Oh god, I can nearly talk. So I'm using a text and I want to make sure that it runs the proper way. So turn it sideways with the bottom line of your text going that way. So the bottom of your text is down here and the it runs this way. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So that you can keep it looking nice when you turn it over, so it looks like so on the inside rather than the text running the wrong way. So be careful of that if you are using a pattern. These sheets measure 4-inch square, and you need 2 of them, and you want to score it at 1 inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches, and 3 1/2. So just do the both of them, making sure again the bottom of your text is down here. 1 inch, 1 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 1/2. So that's all your scoring done. And we'll just make these up now. Give them a good firm score and just make sure they're all squared up nicely. There's lots of these tutorials out there, so nothing new, but it's new to me. I've never made one before. It's always nice to try something new for the same customer. It's 6 different ones to do for this customer, so I really needed to get some ideas going. So that's them all. We're going to form a wee box like so, keeping this on the inside. I'm going to use wet glue. You could use your tape pen, unless you want to make a mess like I usually do. So I'm trying to put little to no glue on, but enough to hold it where I want it. Now I'm just spreading it. I'm not really putting any more on. So fold that over, fold that down, and just make sure that it's all taken nicely. Give it a wee rub. So that should be okay. I'll do the same with this one. We swirl the glue. Fold it over and give it a wee score. Just make sure that it's all nice and square. And then we're going to let those join together to form your wee box that's going to hold everything. But we'll do that on the inside of the card. So for your card, you need a piece of the Whisper White, folded in half. It's 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 is the finished size of the card, which is a cut across the top of an 8 1/4 inch card, which we use in the UK, and then just score it in the centre. So then you need to emboss your piece of green card or whatever colour you're using, and it needs to be 4 inches by 4 inches, and it's just going to sit right in there. So I'm just going to add the glue now and stick it in place. So just use whatever Christmassy embossing folders you have. Give it a nice wee Christmas look. This one has holly on it, so it matches my holly perfectly. So I just need to get it in the right place. So when you've that on, when you cut your papers, you're left with a wee scrap, pardon me, along the bottom, because you're cutting 4 inches off a 6 inch. So you're left with a 2 inch piece, and it'll just sit there perfectly. So you can add that now too. I'm just keeping the same pattern up as I've used inside, just to get it all matching. So just sort of centre it. If you want to add a ribbon along the bottom, you might want to push that up a wee bit. I'm just going to keep it in the centre because I just haven't made my mind up yet for this particular one. So I could really use my grid paper there to keep me straight, couldn't I? Seems okay. So we're going to do the inside, and we're going to attach this one to the back. And as you can see, I've just left a tiny wee bit of white on each side just to keep me guided well. So you want to put your glue on this back one here. Just always make sure that if you're using a text or whatever, that it's all set in the right direction. That's not upside down, you know. So glue on that bit, put that in like so, so that it's sitting nice and neat, and just close your card down on it. Double check you're happy. It seems fine. So we want to put a wee line of glue here and here. We're just going to join it there and no more. I'm leaving lots of room so she can put the money in sideways or tallways, whichever is going to suit her. And again, check that your writing's nice. And this will sit like so. Oops. Where are you? It's hard to see that writing, even with my glasses on. So we're just pushing that in there. And just making sure they're lined up both sides. And you can take the chance and press it down. Give it a good firm press. And that's it, secured there. So now we just need to glue the bottom. So just running a bit of glue right along. Just make sure you're happy with it lined up. And press, double check everything. Don't wait till it dries and then realize you were a wee bit crooked. So that's it, perfectly done. And we're going to allow that time to dry, making sure it's taken on both those sections. So you should sit like so. So I also have cut 2 pieces of card, the matching card. At this stage you can go in and emboss it if you really want. I've cut these slightly in so there's a nice white border around. I'm just going to stick that in place. This one measures 2 3/8 by 3 6/8. I'm just sliding it right down to practically underneath the wee wedge, and just make sure you've got it in the middle. So you'd have a nice wee border the whole way around. And I have another piece cut for the top. It's going to do the same, go right down so that it's sitting right in on the card. And this one measures 3 6/8 by 2 7/8. And I just like to use the wet glue so that I can maneuver that about so that I'm happy with the placement before the other glue would just dry too quick. So I think that's well enough. We'll just give it a wee quick scooch. And that's it. And as you can see, where's my wee card? I'll pop that in to show you. Oh, I can't get it separated. Woo. There. That was a tight fit, but yes, it's okay. I didn't do it. I thought for a minute I had glued it wrong, but I haven't. We only did 2 wee lines of glue, and that's why it's give that. And like you can see that that'll close down and still cover up. So it's a perfect size. That's much longer than your notes will be fitting in there. But make sure you slide something in there to separate that because it has been given a good wee tight fit. But you can see it now. So now we need to decorate. On the front we're going to put one panel in, and we're going to stamp the thinking of you, and we're going to go in the garden green. I have done a nice wee red edge around it, so we'll just do the green. Line this up and try my best to get this straight. Whoops. So that will go on with a few dimensionals. And I'm using the larger ones if I can find them. Oh, I'm not going to stick it on yet. I want to put my I wanted to show you how I coloured these. I have used Old Olive first, the dark Old Olive, and I've just went over the seams where the veins of the leaves are. Just really roughly, nothing fancy at all. Go in there with your dark granny apple green, making sure this is the dark one, yeah. And I'm just I'll go in with the brush end this time, and really we're just smoothing out where we've added that dark. Nearly washing it out, but it's just to give it that wee bit of extra. And then I'm going in with the bullet side of the light granny apple green and just filling in the spaces and washing the edges of the darker colour. I just don't want to go over my lines at this stage, and I will if you use my brush end. You can see it sort of washes it in for you. Just take like a wee section at a time and blend it so it softens the edges of the ink you've already there. This is getting a bit dried up, I think. It's been a popular one this Christmas season. And that's it. It just gives you a wee bit of depth. So now we want to curl our leaves up a wee bit. and just use some dimensionals on the very edge of your berries. Just keep your dimensionals to that edge, and we're just going to pop them at the edge of the sentiment. Just sort of so that it's not covering too much, but it's sitting nice, you know. Do the same in this one. And this last one. They're just wee cut-offs. I've used my scissors to cut along this line, so you're not wasting anything. So turn this one the opposite way, and again fit it in round the lettering so you're not covering anything. Go a wee bit like so, and that should just sit in there and give it a nice wee flare. So just center it so your leaves fit your lines of text to line you up nicely. So I think that looks well enough. Now inside we wanted to stamp the "May this season bring you smiles and love that will last all year." So again, going with that colour. And we'll try and line it up straight. So that one will go there, and this one is the to and from, which I put away again. To and from. And just do it in the green as well. So just sort of keep it in the center. These ones I just put on flat so there's no extra bulk in the card. You don't want it sticking out too much. So this one goes here at the bottom so that the lady can write in it as easy as possible. Just center it. And the same with the top one. Center it above. And that is basically your gift card made. Great for using up the end of your Christmas papers if you're nearly done creating for Christmas at this stage. So, May this season, I like that. That's fairly nice. So, you can add a wee bit of Wink of Stella to your berries there if you want to glisten them up. Even the leaves could take a wee bit too. So that's it, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to add a ribbon. It's just because the flap open like that was giving me a bit of annoyance, because I'm not giving her envelopes with these. These are just being handed. But you know me, I could end up making envelopes for them or something, or I'll go with the ribbon. Not sure if the red, what do you think of the red there? I don't think I have any Granny Apple Christmassy looking ribbon. I don't know. I think Ken nearly takes away from it. So I might go with an envelope or something, or just give them to her. So either way, I hope you have a good week Christmas. I may not see you again until after Christmas, but I hope you've enjoyed some of my tutorials. I've tried my best. It's a challenge for me sometimes, keeping the measurements right, but sure, we get there in the end. Catch us all again later. Stay safe out there. Bye.